The Phillies won another series this weekend, taking 2-3 of the Diamondbacks. The Phillies have you hooked again? Are you back in on the Phillies being a good baseball team? I don't know. A lot of people call yesterday a good loss. We're going to talk about that. Eagles unfiltered from the draft. Damn, that was entertaining. Other Eagles content from rookie minicamp. And A.J. Brown setting the bar pretty high for engagements. Trending in the AM. We are live, taking all your thoughts and opinions and everything in 30 seconds. And a very good morning, everybody, and welcome to Trending in the AM, right here on the STT Sports Network. We are live, YouTube and Twitter. You know the drill. Wherever you are watching from, hit that like button, hit that share button, and most importantly, hit that subscribe button as we are live, and the march to 1,000 subscribers is on now. We are at 517 now, so please like, share, subscribe. It's free to do. Does not cost you a thing to do it. I would greatly appreciate it. And we got lots to talk about today. The Phillies with a big series win this weekend. But while a lot will tell you it was a great weekend, I'm here to tell you that it should have been a better weekend of Phillies baseball. So we're going to talk a little bit about the Phillies and why I'm still, quite frustrated with the Philadelphia Phillies, despite now winning 3 series in a row over the last week and change. I am not all the way back in on this Philadelphia Phillies team. Part 2 of the conversation today. Philadelphia Eagles, their unfiltered draft video, their unscripted, unfiltered, whatever it's called, was the greatest 16 minutes of viewing that I've ever done. So enjoy watching Howie Roseman work draft weekend. It's so fun. And his reactions to trying to trade up for so long. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about all the things from Eagles rookie minicamp this week, and it's something that I don't think is discussed enough about Jihaad Campbell. So we're going to get into that as well. And, of course, A.J. Brown got engaged this weekend officially to his longtime girlfriend. And he really set the bar pretty high for the rest of single men out there in the engagement world with his little engagement party. It was kind of comical. I don't even want to waste any more time with what I think. There's plenty of comments rolling in already, so I'm just going to fire right off to the comments. Nooms, good morning. Buddy Hield, really wanted to keep that guy with a perfect. Buddy Hield had, 31, 33 points last night for Golden State as they advanced to the second round of the NBA playoffs, knocking off the young upstart Houston Rockets. The Rockets will be there eventually, yeah. Buddy Hield couldn't make him work here in Philly, but he's perfectly fine out there in Golden State. Good for him. Good morning, Stephen Fuentes. Not hooked yet on the Phillies. Fire Rob Thomson now. I'll say Rob Thomson, we're winning despite Rob Thomson. The fact that he still won't just leave Bryson Stott in the leadoff spot no matter what. The fact that he keeps trotting Jose Alvarado out there for second innings and it never works well. Rob Thomson continues to make boneheaded moves. I will give Rob Thomson one thing. He did come out and argue something for 3 seconds yesterday. That overturned call over at third base, JT Realmuto. At least he showed a pulse there for about 3 seconds. The umpire just didn't seem to care, though. The umpire just kind of blew him off. Good morning, Adam. Yeah, so a second comment in a row. Still, it's Overreaction Monday. We're all liking and sharing. We're all subscribing. And so far, 2 of the first 3 comments are fire Rob Thomson. Right up my alley with these first comments. Yeah, Scotty Scheffler, K1. What's there to say about Scotty Scheffler, man? That was just a sick performance from him this weekend. 31 under with a bogey on the second to last hole. Are you kidding me? Sick what Scotty Scheffler did. We'll talk about that tomorrow night on Fairway to Heaven, I am sure, for a lot. I know you want it 5. I know you want it 5 or 6, but hey, if you keep winning series, the Phillies will be fine. Chat, yeah, I get it. But see, the thing is, I'm not hooked back in on this Phillies team because this weekend was just proof that this Phillies team is still the same Phillies team they've been for the last 3 years. That this Phillies team wins despite its manager's bonehead decisions. But those boneheaded decisions will come back if he continues to make them that way come October. Rob Thomson is not getting fired like the first two commenters said. Probably pretty much not at all. Chance of that. But it's going to backfire, in my opinion. How many times do we have to see Jose Alvarado go out there and pitch a 9th inning or 8th inning or whatever, and then Rob Thomson puts him back out the next inning to start, and it falls apart? How many times do we have to see that happen? And I've been talking about that for years. Not just with Jose Alvarado. Almost every closer in the game cannot come back out for second innings and expect good things. Good morning, Duck. What is up? How you doing? What do you think of Ranger? Is he going to be all right? Well, so there's a couple things we can talk about with Ranger Suarez, Adam. Part one, I'm not judging Ranger Suarez on his first start, okay? Ranger Suarez, that was his first time. He had some rehab starts, didn't have really a spring training. He's going to be rusty. His first inning and a half, he looked fine. But he struck out 4 of his first 6 hitters. I wasn't worried about Ranger. The problem is Ranger, big picture, what is he? Ranger Suarez has had issues with his arm. Ranger Suarez has shown the inability to consistently go deep into baseball games. He's shown the ability to be able to pitch out of the bullpen, out in playoff scenarios. Taijuan Walker was pitching phenomenally this year, and I think it was a bad decision. Now, the other end of the Ranger Suarez thing is he's a free agent after this year. Starters get paid more than relievers. Even average starters get paid more than relievers. Ranger Suarez wants to start because he wants to get paid after this year. But big picture, his career is best suited as a relief pitcher. Imagine shooting 24 under and still losing by 8 strokes. It's laughable. It's laughable. I joked that he was going to get to 35 under after Thursday's round, K1. Little did I know that there was actually a chance of that happening. Like, I literally had – I just thought I was being sarcastic by saying 11 or 35 under. It's insane. Once Hernandez came out, that answered the question as vote to why. No, I don't care. I'd rather you go with Hernandez to start the inning than to fix or rather than try to clean up the mess that Alvarado made. You set your pitcher up for failure, Nooms, by trotting him out there a second inning. You do. And it happens every time. Every single time. And it's annoying, Nooms. It is. Pixelated History had a whole weird video over the weekend about time. I was a little disappointed in his video, talking about time and, maybe a little bit of living in different parts of time. I was expecting a little General George Patton in that video, since he claimed to have been, at a lot of different battles throughout the history of time. A little disappointed in that, but it was a great video from Pixelated History. Really, I wish I would have watched it after the gummy had kicked in. Then that would have been really interesting. Bryce Perkins, who? What? I don't even know who that is. Peanut, great stuff. Complicated topic that I had to simplify. And Patton is a guy who I want to do a whole video on. General Patton, old blood and guts. Your blood, my guts. My favorite general of all time right there. My favorite war movie of all time is just Patton with George C. Scott, the greatest. You think Dave will ever bring up any prospects to see what they got? You're missing one key prospect right here, Adam. You're missing like 28th ranked Phillies prospect, Otto Kemp, who just smashed his 10th home run of the season yesterday for AAA. Guy's got 10 home runs. He's hitting well over 300. Problem is he's a third baseman. Now Alec Boehm's starting to make some contact. Still has no home runs. Are you really going to bring up Otto Kemp and have him sit the bench behind Boehm? Are you going to bring up Crawford and have him get platooned with Rojas? No. Painter will be up when Painter's ready. I'm not worried about Painter. Come July, he'll be here. Aiden Miller, where are you going to put him? Rob Thomson has this affinity to play his veterans no matter what. Hence why Bryson Stott still is not an everyday player. Bryson Stott should be in the leadoff spot every single game going forward, no matter what. Yet he still isn't. And that is no bueno. Was he? So he fell off a horse. Hernandez ain't it. Hernandez is not it. You're right. The entire bullpen is not it. Kirkring can't pitch right now. The problem is, you still only got you can't force something. You can't force Jose Alvarado just because Hernandez ain't it. Forcing Alvarado into a lose-lose situation is just as bad as going with Hernandez. Hold on, let me see who. So they had already used Kirkring, Romano, Strom, Ross at that point. There weren't many options left. Should have been smarter. Maybe have Taijuan Walker ready to go in that game. Patent is greater than Omar Bradley. Absolutely. Where a patent got marked. No chance Miller comes up this year. I do think we see Crawford at some point unless Dave trades him for a mid-reliever. That's the other thing with Otto Kemp. Everybody wants to see Otto Kemp up here. Maybe they don't want to bring him up here to risk hurting his trade value. I think Otto Kemp will be a guy that some team will buy into his, power surge that he's having right now and maybe take a chance on him. But realistically, Miller, Crawford, all these guys, Anthony, do you really want them getting every day at bats in the minors or getting called up here to the main club and playing every fourth or fifth day? That's the question. I'm going to need a margarita. Oh, that's right. I forgot. I wrote it down to make sure I wished everybody. But happy Cinco de Mayo to all. I live in the Kennett Square area. There'll be a lot of Cinco de Mayo celebrating today in the Kennett area. A margarita. I'm not a big margarita fan, chat. Do you know what I like? I like a good jalapeno margarita. A little bit of that spice really makes it really good. There'll be a lot of tacos, a lot of Coronas, and a lot of margaritas in my town today. Francis Ford Coppola wrote the screenplay for Patton, helped him finance Godfather. Great piece of information there. I did not know that. Good information, K1. I always say that Patton is one of my favorite movies of all time. Tanner Banks wasn't available. Taijuan Walker was. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is, Nooms. Maybe the answer was not to run Ranger Suarez out there to start a game when he wasn't going to be able to go more than 4 innings, when you didn't have your full complement of the bullpen. I don't know what the answer is, Nooms. The thing is, you can't force something just because. And you forced Alvarado and you lost the game. I'm a big good morning, little G. Hope you're doing good. Patton made them Axis General crash out. Oh, he did. He did. Will you sell a lot of pizza today? I mean, we have new adjusted hours, Adam. I know you saw that. We close at 4 today. So I won't sell too much. We got an order for 21 going out right at 11 a.m., but that's about it. Happy BG Day as well. Oh, because today is 5/5. Is that why? I have no idea how I didn't even realize that. I saw a bunch of people say that online, and I had no idea why they were saying it. I guess 5/5 is Brandon Graham Day. What'd you think of that? How about that? Hey, it is what it is. But happy Cinco de Mayo. Happy Brandon Graham Day. Happy the Phillies are off today, so we can talk. But anyway, the bullpen problem aside with the Phillies, they did take 2 or 3 out against the Diamondbacks, followed by preceded by 2 out of 3 against the Nationals. And yes, Chet, saying that I wanted 5 out of 6. They should have swept the Nationals. They could have swept. That I want to get into this theory that I see everybody talking about on social media about it was a good loss yesterday because they were down 7-1 and they battled back. Is it a good loss? Are we at the point where we could still accept moral victories in losing? And also, is the fact that maybe some of the managerial decisions leading up to that point, a.k.a. Jose Alvarado, actually could do them more harm because this team knows what's going on. They know they battled back, so to speak, but a bad managerial decision cost them the game. Is it the kind of loss that isn't good. Maybe it's bad for the overall locker room morale, which seems to be at an all-time low. Eisenhower and the boys could not handle Did he have Riz? Was Riz a thing in 1940 something? Off topic, but did the Eagles add a statue like the Philly statue? If so, what will it be? Just something on my mind. I've heard some people over the last couple of weeks talk about this. I'm not sure. Maybe the dagger. Maybe. I would have to sit there and think. Maybe you get a statue of Jalen Hurts smoking a cigar in the locker room, sitting down. Maybe. He was, for golf fans, he was Duffnering. What was that? How did they call it? Duffing? What did Duffner do after winning the PGA Championship? Patton wanted to go after the Soviets. He knew, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What is it? A schedule loss? Like, Adam, I've been thinking this idea since everybody's been talking about how yesterday was such a good moral victory despite losing. That sounds like a Doc Rivers excuse for losing. There should never be an excuse for losing a sporting event of any kind. The moral victory. We used to talk so much about under Brett Brown a moral victory. Yeah, they almost won the game, but we'll build upon this. This is not some young team that needs to build upon anything. This is a veteran, expensive team that's meant to win, that's expected to win, that does win more often than not, despite their manager. I'm not a fan of the moral victory or scheduled loss philosophy. I think they're a load of hocus pocus, a load of bullshit. Let me tell you something. K1, and everybody watching, I don't even know how many people are there. There's only probably a dozen or so of you in the YouTube room. Make sure you're hitting that like. There should be at least 15 likes, shares, some subscribers. We start the show at 517. I'm hoping that you all watched the unfiltered Eagles draft video, Howie Roseman working the phones and working his office. There's nothing more entertaining. Give me an entire season of Hard Knocks of just Howie Roseman working the phones. It's the most entertaining thing there was. I mean, he literally called every GM from pick 22 to 31 to try and get Jihaad Campbell. Every single GM. Then he mocked the Falcons. What? The Falcons traded what? It was the greatest. The look on Vic Fangio's face when Howie's like, yo, we got Jihaad Campbell. Vic Fangio literally, I don't want to say what he probably did in his pants, but I want the Howie statue, yeah. Howie statue with a cigar and you got to put the scar across his forehead in it. 4 UFO games. Oh, that's still going on? I thought that season ended already. Moral victory. What the hell is moral victory? Just say we lost and we will learn from it. Moral victory is word salad for no one is going to do anything to correct it. Exactly, Duck. Exactly. I hate it. I hate the moral victory. What's up there? Not from Philly podcast. How you doing today? The bullpen might not be great, but it's not going to help when your defense is making error after error and putting the pressure on them like guys like Alvarado. It's not good. Yeah, I mean, Schwarber had an error yesterday. Obviously, Schwarber should have 0 errors, not one, because there's a Rob Thomson mistake. There's no reason for Rob Thomson to put Kyle Schwarber in left field. 0, zilch, zippo. This team has won. What are they now? 19 and 15? 19 and 15. All right. This team is 19 and 15 despite decisions from the manager. Because the manager will constantly put these guys in positions to fail. Problem is, there's so much talent that they will mask the decision-making more so than not. Taco pizza. We make a banging taco pizza at Fox's Pizza. I want status a bottle to Howie. What? I want status a bottle. Thank you very much. Muchas gracias, Mark. Whatever you want to talk about, your opinions matter on this show if you're new to the show. We do this every single day. We got the Phillies on the agenda today, the Eagles, but whatever you want to talk about. We're also talking General Patton today. So, you know, that's the kind of morning it is. Not one person in this chat watched the UFL. I watched more of Scotty Scheffler shooting 31 under this weekend than I did of the UFL. No one wanted to trade back with the Eagles, and we still walked away. Here's the question. Why did nobody want to trade back with the Eagles? Are they really that scared of Howie Roseman? Or, did Howie Roseman not read this year's value of it? Like, he wanted to trade up with every team, and they all kept saying no. And you see what the Falcons gave up, a future first to move up 4 or 5 spots. Actually, it was like a little bit more than that. And he laughed about that. Like, did Howie misvalue what this year was about? That's the question. And see, we got Mark subscribes. We're up to 518. We are now, 482 away from 1,000. So everybody, like this video, share this video out, and if you haven't subscribed, please. Muchas gracias. Now, I want you to remember that no bastard ever won a war by dying for his country. He won it by making the other poor dumb bastard die. I like that. I like that. I really losing faith in Trey Turner. What's your thought on Trey as a Philly so far? Trey Turner to me, and this is something that I haven't even put my full concept of idea together on this. Trey Turner is kind of like Tobias Harris. He's a good player. He's not a $300 million player. Trey Turner does some things well. Trey Turner is inconsistent. Trey Turner is paid to be an MVP. Trey Turner's an all-star at best. Trey Turner is not worth $300 million. I ran a poll last week on Twitter. I forget the final numbers. But I said, is Trey Turner one of the 3 most overrated contracts currently in Philadelphia? You'd be shocked at how many people don't actually read the full tweet because they were bringing up contracts from decades ago. Little did I know we still are paying Ilya Brizgalov's contract right now with the Flyers, which is insane to me. But Trey Turner's just overpaid. That's why we overrate him. Statue of Howie. Yeah, I think it's time to consider the Howie Roseman statue. Absolutely agree with you on that. Absolutely agree with you on that. Sweeps are nice, but not realistic. Winning series is what it's all about. And the Phillies have won 3 straight series. Rick, and I get it. And I'm this close to being hooked back in on this Phillies team. They got 3 against the Rays and 3 against Cleveland. Little 6-game road trip coming up here. And continue to win series is great. But it's when they lose, how they lose. You can look at yesterday's loss, Rick, as in 2 areas. Great job by the team battling back and not just packing it in after they're down 7-1. Or you can look at it also the fact that the big glaring weakness of the bullpen ended all that momentum to come back multiple times, and the bullpen blows it. It's a positive, but it's a deflating loss as well. We've done everything we can to come back, and we still lost. A combat statue of Howie victoriously taking bottles and arrows of haters. Yeah, I like that. I don't know when the UFL games are. They don't advertise well at all. I honestly kind of forgot about the UFL, Doc. Don't answer that phone if it says no, don't. I know the Washington guys say, there'll be an in-division tax. Yeah, whatever. I just think Howie, I think there's a little bit of a combination of Howie misreading what it would cost to make trades versus also, there is some people that just don't want to do business with Howie Roseman anymore. Missing on getting the young stud tight end was definitely a misread by Howie. I said it from day one that they weren't going to draft a tight end, Rick. At least not any of the top ones. I still think that the tight end situation is evolving. Dallas Goedert still is going in my book. Now, I don't think he should, but he is going post-June 1st. But the tight end situation is evolving heavily in Philadelphia right now. And I never thought that one of those tight ends were going to be in play. I never did. Fox Friday night, noon Saturday, ABC. I do like Friday Night Lights, but no thank you. Not for UFL. Sunday, 2 games. Did Turner make this many errors in Washington? Honestly, I'm not sure, Adam. Not sure. But Trey Turner just, I think there's something to my comparing him to Tobias Harris. Just a guy paid to be here, but's really here. And here is still really good. It's just not matching his salary. Every GM has the Undertaker's walk-in music as the ringtone. Lights dim and the whole room cowers when the call comes in. I like that. Dallas can't come to the phone right now. He is injured. It's probably correct. Howie, you magnificent bastard. Yeah, that was Vic Fangio's reaction when Howie's like, yo, we got Jihaad Campbell. Now, I think if you want to talk the Eagles, I think coming out of rookie minicamp, there's a couple little tidbits that we could talk about from it. But Jihaad Campbell obviously didn't practice. Jihaad Campbell was there, stretched with the team, etc., but didn't participate. Now, stretching, that's a good sign. We're spending so much time talking about Jihaad Campbell, whether will he play inside, outside, what kind of hybrid role, instead of talking about when will Jihaad Campbell be ready to play. Nakobe Dean, when will he be? We might be starting the season without either of our young linebackers. It's very hard in a Vic Fangio system to miss training camp and play. Look at Cooper DeJean. It took him 4 weeks. The year before, even without, in the Sean Desai system, Nolan Smith missed a lot of time in training camp because of a shoulder injury. Wasn't ready at the start of the season. Are we too confident that Jihaad Campbell will be ready for week one? And if Jihaad Campbell and Nakobe Dean aren't ready week one, it's a problem. It's a problem. Big concern. No, his defense has gotten worse the last few years. It definitely seems to have gotten worse. 9 out of 10, Pattons agree. Every loss sucks, but in baseball, most teams are going to lose 70 or more games. I get it. But I'm more talking about this specific loss. Everyone's saying it was a good loss, a moral victory in the loss. When I kind of see it as both a moral victory for the hitters, but also deflating to the hitters to put that kind of effort out and it not be enough because of a bad decision. I'm a hater. I am what I am. Losing games is fine. It's the way they lose. The bullpen. I would have felt less disappointed. I would have had a different, I would have still had the title, do the Phillies have you hooked again. All right. But I would have had a different attitude from the entire weekend if they would have just lost 7-1 yesterday or 10-2. That would have actually, honestly, I could have just said, well, Ranger wasn't ready. He was working out the kinks. It happened. You took 2 out of 3. You took 4 out of 6. But instead, they battled, took the lead, and couldn't hold it. Jihaad has 3 months to rehab that shoulder. He does have 3 months. That's May, June, July. Well, he got hurt. The surgery was in March, so April, May, June. He's already into his second month of it. And I'm not sure what the timetable is. The thing that's concerning to me about Jihaad Campbell is that Campbell and the Eagles, nobody's putting any timetable on it. They're just, we'll see kind of attitude. To me, that concerns me a little bit. If they had a plan already or an expectation, he will miss out on training camp or on OTAs, but he should be good to go by training camp. That'd make me think. The thing that they're not talking about, they're almost putting this Sixers spin like, we'll see. With the Eagles are a very transparent team. They tell things the way they are. They're not doing that with Jihaad, and that's a concern. Fox's Pizza does have a great taco pizza. Absolutely. I want to try Phil's taco pizza. It's good. Only a pimp from a cheap New Orleans whorehouse would carry a pearl in. I like that. That's a good Patton quote right there. I know punk. You punk? No punk bitch? I like the rush hour quote there. I will one day get to Kennett Square to try Phil's taco pizza unless there are reports of it causing road. I mean, we don't want any road rage. Freddie Defo. We don't want you taking a dump on someone's car. All right? And I guarantee every person from Delco in their 40s double check to make sure they didn't know that chick by accident. All right? I know I went and looked her up on Facebook to see if I was friends with her or not. Ben Simmons or Trey Turner, who is worse? I don't know why we're putting Turner against Simmons. Simmons is worse. Simmons was. I prefer the Tobias Harris comparison to Trey Turner over Ben Simmons big time. Ben Simmons was an atrocious contract, obviously. Ben Simmons was a failure, obviously. But on the flip side, Ben Simmons never really cared. Who the heck is this chick? You did not see this, Doc? Are you serious? There was a chick in Delco last week. It was all the rage. I shared it out on Friday, I think, or Thursday or Friday on Twitter. Some road rage incident in Delco. Some girl got out of her car and popped the squat on another car's hood. Legitly. She got arrested on Friday for it. 44-year-old girl from Ridley Park. Yeah. It's there's actual video footage of it happening out there too. It's pretty sick. It's pretty crazy. And as she's getting let off in handcuffs, she's legitly laughing at the situation. It's kind of comical. It's kind of funny. And Peter Turner. What? Who's worse? Again, I think this is a very tough thing to compare. You're talking about an MVP in Joel Embiid, potentially, if he was healthy, one of the greatest players ever, against Trey Turner, who's just overpaid. Solid, but overpaid. Trey Turner's a really good player. Trey Turner still hits almost 300 every year. He'll steal 20 bases or more. He'll hit you close to 20 home runs. He's a good baseball player. He's just not a $300 million baseball player. That's the problem with him. Oh, that's my girlfriend. She loves doing it. It's insane. I know, Memphis Show, but you're not a Delco or Philly guy. But you got to look up the Delco girl and watch the video of it. It's comical. When you're sitting around your fireside with your grandson on your knee, and he asks you, what did you do in the Great War II? You won't have to say, well, I shoveled shit in Louisiana. Oh, man. Just looked it up, and I don't know her. Look, I don't know her. I didn't recognize her face, but I grew up in Ridley. You know, I lived in there. I'm 44 years old. She's 44. I figured at least that we'd have some common friends. I still got friends and family in the Ridley area. I just thought maybe. I honestly even couldn't find her Facebook page. Maybe it had already been taken down. It's one of those things where, you know, everybody knows everybody in Delco, especially Ridley. My nickname was not Gator in college. Did I have a nickname in college? Rourke, you in the comments? Are you listening? I don't think I had a nickname in college. Did I? You and Giordano gave me a nickname when we all first met, but I forget what it was. But it didn't stick very long. I don't know. I didn't have a nickname. I also didn't have this awesome beard, Memphis, back then. That movie, after you watch, you have to do all the lines. So good. It is a classic. Not just a classic. I mean, what did it win? Like 7 Oscars? 8 Oscars? Anyway, let's get off the pat. I mean, if you guys haven't, make sure you subscribe to Peanut's YouTube channel so you can watch these great videos. He's going to do a video on Patton, he says. So, Big Al claims he didn't know her either. I doubt it, though. I have a feeling that he probably hung out at, like, one of those Delco Ridley bars with her on a regular basis, just so you know. Let's get off the movies. Let's get off of the Delco pooper. Let's get back focused on the Phillies. Let's get focused on the Eagles. I did watch a movie this weekend, I will say that. And I got an interesting movie question. We'll throw that out later. That my girl dog, yeah. The Delco Dumper. How have we not talked about this? We talked. I saw it on Friday. We're talking about it now. It's just the question about how many people actually know her. You know, once from Delco, you're always from Delco. The Delco Dumper. You gotta look it up, Memphis Showboat. Watch the video. You got to. You got to. Phillies, Eagles, back to it. The Delco. I can't believe how many Delco Dumper comments are coming in now. Okay, explore it. Road rage. If you had road rage, what would you do? I don't know if I'd be taking a dump on somebody's car. Oh, my God. She took a deep something on that car. I'm not sure what. That was way out there. We want to just talk about weird and crazy shit. I mean, I could throw another one. We could talk about the Delco Dumper. I want to know. Well, what are the odds that the WWWIPers are talking about Jalen Hurts not in the A.J. Brown engagement video? You guarantee there's Eagles fans, and I guarantee the media is going to spin that as negatively as possible. Guarantee it. But A.J. Brown on the flip side, whether Jalen Hurts is there or not, the fact that he had freaking John Legend performing as his engagement party has set the bar for single men at such a height. How in the world can anybody else compete when you're out there hiring John Legend to perform? No more tush push. We should call it the Delco Dumper. The Delco Dumper. You also had another cool nickname for it once. The butt crack something. I don't remember, Peanut. You're always good with nicknames. It's the Delco Dump. You know, you always have those weird random things football players use for audibles. Quarterbacks have, call out people's names and different things. I want to hear an audible at the line of scrimmage from Jalen Hurts this year. Delco Dumper, and see what the play is. That would be hilarious. Are her parents proud of their? Probably. You think Dave will try to trade some prospects to get veteran players to try and win now? I think he'll try. Will he be willing to trade the ones that are going to be needed to be traded to get the quality? It depends. Is he going to try to trade low-level guys to get more Austin Hayeses of the world? Or is he going to go out there and trade for a Kyle Tucker-level player? Last year, we could have traded Alec Bohm, Mick Abel, and Aiden Miller. We could have gotten Kyle Tucker. Kyle Tucker could be in left field for us. We'd be a much better team right now. Alec Bohm could be gone. Sosa and Kemp could be platooning at third base. Adam, this baseball team would be better that way. But Dave Dombrowski, who used to be a guy willing to part with prospects. I was chatting with my man Jason from Fairway to Heaven about the prospects they gave up to get Miguel Cabrera back in the day in Detroit and how they were their top prospects. And I think Cameron Maben was the top prospect. And what was he? A bench guy? It's kind of crazy. But yet we're so scared all of a sudden to trade prospects. We've been trading prospects for 15 years now here. 20 years here in Philadelphia. It's fine. You got to trade good prospects to get good veteran players. You trade bad prospects, you get bad players. Statue of the Delco Dumper, yeah. I would be yelling like an idiot, but I would not cause a biohazard to make my point. Yeah. I get in trouble even if I honk my horn. My wife's seen one too many movies of road rage with like action. So I'm not even allowed to honk my horn at people. Rocky, Howie, and the it's hilarious. It's hilarious. Got to put the Delco Dumper at the top of right next to Rocky at the top of the Art Museum steps. I think Hurts is borderline antisocial. He might be. Is he really an introverted guy that just doesn't like to be in public or big? And let's be honest. There are going to be people that make a big deal of it. I'm making jokes about the people that are going to make a big deal about it. But who's to say Hurts wasn't there? And he just didn't happen to make the video, the final cut of the video. There is that scenario as well. No one's going to ask. But who cares? Maybe he's on his honeymoon right now. Manny Machado got a contract extension, now makes more than Harper. Phillies salary cap is $30 million more than the Padres. The Phillies spend way too much money to get the results they get. They have way too many players, Mista, underperforming their paychecks. But some of those paychecks might have been too big to begin with. AJ's in a different tax bracket than I am. I might be able to buy a John Legend from iTunes. He's definitely in a different tax bracket than all of us. Dude, I watched that video. I mean, how does AJ Brown top that for the wedding? When you're going that all out for an engagement party, how do you top that for the wedding? Hurt not being there is not that big a deal. You don't know what he has on his schedule. Now, did he send Flowers Carter pay for part of the John Legend? Maybe that was his treat to John Legend. And again, maybe he was there and just wasn't in any of the photographs that made the final cut. General Patton would have known what to do with the Delco Dumper. Yeah, absolutely. Give him a kiss. Give her a kiss, right? She caught charged for depositing waste of street among. She caught some charges. There's a video of her being led away in handcuffs. It's so funny. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But anyway, I mean, how does AJ Brown top that for the wedding? Like if you get John Legend for your engagement, what musician do you have to get for your wedding? Who's the next step up? When you stick your hand in a pile of goo that used to be on your car hood, you'll know what to do. Are we just trying to rhyme now? Is that what we're trying to do? You can hit her so Patton wouldn't know what to do with her. Yeah. Delco Dumper story get crazier. The only fit she's got. Hold on a second. Whoa. Back up. First off, we've already heard jokes about Big Al in the chat. Big Al, just so you know, thinking that she's probably your friend or something like that. Hold on a second. She's got an OnlyFans page? You're kidding me, right? Like, is her OnlyFans page of her just taking dumps on cars? I need to. The Delco Deucer. I like that name even better than Delco Dumper. Hold on a second. I can't. AJ doesn't bother topping it. Baby mama got the insurance locked in. That is true. I mean, I briefly met AJ Brown. Nice guy. Big guy. And she was at the event I was at too. Very nice people. Billy Joel. I guess, yeah, maybe Billy Joel. Does AJ Brown strike you as a Billy Joel kind of guy, though? I don't know if Billy Joel is on AJ Brown's iTunes playlist, but that would be a great wedding performer right there, for sure. Be great. The police chief says we have to take this seriously, and then proceeds to start. How can you not laugh? There's an OnlyFans for this. There is a only. I hold on a second. I still cannot fathom. I can't. There's no way that there's an OnlyFans page for this. I don't have an OnlyFans account. Never have. Never even downloaded the app or looked at it. But I might have to just to look this up. He may get Snoop Dogg or Jay-Z. Yeah, a Beyonce Jay-Z maybe pairing for his wedding. I don't know. She had that. Seriously. Yep. Apparently, it is a foot fetish. Oh, foot fetish. Look, I don't have a foot fetish. I don't like feet. All right. I'm not Rectron, okay? Let me tell you something. Somebody wants to pay for my feet, I will. I think people paying for feet stuff is the most ludicrous thing in the world. But if I was a person that was posting it, I would do it. Screw it. Is a true duck? Was that promotion? I don't know. Phil should have had Jimmy Buffett. I had my great man Nick Everett performing. Legendary Delco in Delaware single performer. He played at my wedding. Looks like John Popper from Blues Travelers. Look up Nick Everett. He's kind of hurt right now, not performing anymore. But I did have a live musician at my wedding. I don't think Jimmy Buffett was in my. I wasn't even a huge Jimmy Buffett fan at that time. She had the OnlyFans for a while. Shit. That's no pun intended. Shit. I didn't even know about OnlyFans was until I know what it is. I've always known what it is, but I think it's comical. Or at least a Jimmy Buffett tribute band. Yeah, exactly. Is AJ Brown making Beyonce money yet? He's not a sultan of anything. No, he's making what, like $30 million a year, AJ Brown now? Jalen Hurts isn't introverted. He's the life of the party. What he does when he does his gritty touchdown dance, everyone starts doing the electric slide. Oh, man. I've never seen someone push back so hard about having a foot fetish. What are we doing? Nothing. I do have a hang now right now on my right little pinky toe that I can't quite clip off right now. I will say that. If I recorded myself clipping my toenails, I'm sure there'd be somebody out there that would pay for it. Hold on a second. This is Monday. It is Cinco de Mayo. I haven't been drinking yet. Normally, the weird, wacky conversations on Trending in the AM wait till Friday. Friday is fall off the rails Friday. Monday is normally focused on a weekend worth of sports talk. But here we are talking General Patton, the Delco Deucer, the Delco Dumpster, foot fetishes. Is this a sign of what's to come this week on Train the AM? I may need to take a week off if this is what this week's going to be like. What you're in OnlyFans? I don't know. Hang now stream. No. Like, I just don't. I don't know even where to go with the conversation today. We're about to get out and get 2005 Crumpkin Cinco. What? It is Cinco de Mayo. It's a big day. Always big parties in Kennedy Square on Cinco de Mayo. I have big butts and I cannot lie. You other brothers can't deny. Whatever. Anyway. Can we please talk Eagles? Can we please talk Phillies? Hell, if you want to talk Sixers or NBA playoffs or the disaster that's about to be the Flyers with Rick Tocchet probably being named head coach. Like, give me anything to get back on point. Anything. Because I can't take this. This is too much. It's Freddie, it's something. I don't know. This is not the algorithm winning show that it normally is. What's the prediction for the Phillies and Rays? We'll get into that tomorrow. I haven't even looked at the pitching matchups for the Phillies and the Rays. I know the Rays are just below 500 right now. I'll look into that, and we'll talk about that tomorrow for sure. Phillies were on national TV. When were they on national TV? I watched them on the local sports channel every day this weekend, so I didn't even know they were on national TV. Just looking at my notes here. For Eagles stuff. There's those Eagles things. Eagles and Phillies. Saturday they were on national TV? Okay, gotcha. Did not know that. Had no clue that they were on that. Maybe. All right, so I'm going to throw another. Since we don't want to talk sports, I'll throw another movie question in the conversation. Obviously, the Eagles draft video. Obviously, the A.J. Brown stuff. Emmanuel Ocho. Talking trash with Jalen Hurts on Friday last week. There's that. The rookie minicamp. Not Holland Pierce, but Drew Kendall, who played center at the minicamp, is being talked about by a couple Eagles players Eagles reporters that he could be a dark horse at right guard for the Eagles this year. Jihaad Campbell, when will he be back? All things we're talking about today. Jordan Spieth, shooting a 62. Maybe he's my bet to win the PGA Championship, K1. I've got 2 long shot bets already in Daniel Berger and Aaron Rye. But maybe George Spieth wins the PGA Championship. Maybe I'll have to take a peek at those numbers later today on the sports books. But an interesting movie question from this weekend from my Twitter account. Is there a movie? What movie would you like to go in and watch again, but for the first time? Pretend that you've never seen a movie. What movie do you wish you can experience for the first time again? And if you can guess mine, I'll give you a thumbs up. Because I got some really interesting ones responded on Saturday night to my post on Twitter. Some very interesting movies. You know. But Memento. That was commented a few times. No, I mean, I liked it. It was good, but Dr. Strangelove? Like, are we serious here? Which movie do you think I would want to see for the first time? Again. There's a lot of great answers. A lot of great answers. One that I didn't even think of was Back to the Future. Watching Back to the Future again for the first time as an adult versus a kid. I saw a few people. I found The Sixth Sense extremely overrated, to be honest with you. I knew what was going on from second one of that movie. Memento, obviously, I see it, but I don't remember it. What's the longest line you've ever waited in for a movie? None. Never. I'm not really a movie theater person to begin with. I make sure I see James Bond whenever there's a new James Bond opening weekend every year or every time. I don't wait in lines for movies. I don't go to movies in general very often. I wait till they come out online. I tried to watch Captain America last night, not Winter Soldier, the Falcons, the new Captain America, Brave New World. They still won it $29.99 on Prime to rent it. I was like, screw that. Phil's movie, Debbie does stop. I would say Terminator 2, but not only that, also without having seen a trailer beforehand. The trailers all but gave away. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Austin Powers, what? I'd like to watch it. What? Batman 1989 line was around the outside of the entire theater. The longest line. I'm trying to think. I've never waited in a line for a movie. I really never have. Have you seen Sinners yet? It's up there with the greats. I have not. I've heard of it, but I have not. Watching Jaws for the first time ever again in an IMAX theater would be pretty cool thing. They must have been the best. Well, Brian is the best. For whatever reason, Lethal Weapon 2 was the longest line I waited in. Got stuck in the front row. I did get stuck in the front row for a movie, but that was because we showed up late for it. I've heard a lot of good things about Thunderbolts. But I'm just kind of over the superhero genre. Like a lot of people I expected to answer, I want to see Endgames or Infinity Wars for the first time again. Like, I'm over. I'm burned out on superhero movies. Like, I just can't get excited for them anymore. When I saw Empire Strikes Back as a kid, the line was like a mile long. It was so crazy. I saw an advanced screen of The Dark Knight in San Fran, and the line for that was a few hours long. I would love to see The Dark Knight for the first time again. Talladega Nights I saw at the beach. Revenge of the Sith I saw last week, still was great. Days of Thunder in IMAX today, that would be pretty interesting. It's not as great of a movie as some people think, but yeah. I stood in a long line for Blair Witch Project. I remember the hype when that all came out. I can honestly say I've never watched it. But there was a lot of hype for Blair Witch when it came out. Imagine seeing Scarface with Al Pacino for the first time. Well, first off, Mister, Scarface is the most overrated of Al Pacino's movies. Like, I don't like. I think Scarface is okay. The first X-Men movie was The Longest Line. Again, never waited in line. Why K1 liked being bored. Clerks for the first time. Clerks was good. Clerks was the first of a long line of phenomenal movies, okay? Just so you know. Would love to relive Ghostbusters for the first time. Okay. Nobody's trying to guess what my movie that I want to relive for the first time. I would love to see Scarface in theaters. I don't like Scarface. Scarface is it's okay. It's good. I don't get the hype. Not even close. Flight of the Navigator. Wasn't my call. What was K1's? A Blair Witch Project. We'll do a lot of things for other people, right? Fast Times at Ridgemont High for the first time. Not it. No, not Godfather. I mean, I would like to see The Godfather in a movie theater, but that wouldn't be the one that I'd want to see for the first time again. No, not Rocket Man. Maybe Rocketeer, but not Rocket Man. For you, I'm going to guess Shawshank would be on the top 3 list for sure. Because obviously I didn't get to see that in movie theaters. Saw that on, after the theaters. That would be pretty cool. Yes. Brian, earlier in the show, before you joined, we were talking nicknames. And I can't remember if I had a nickname in college. I think maybe you might have given me one, but I don't remember. Is Rick here? Phillies choked as usual. We did talk about that already. I was only 9 and was watching 48 Hours. I loved watching that movie. The Dark Knight is not mine. Stop, Adam. Stop. Falco. He's got heart. It is not a James Bond movie, but I would like to see any James Bond movie again. I would like to go. My first James Bond movie I ever watched was From Russia with Love with my dad. And GoldenEye, it was the first one I saw in movie theaters. Was amazing. I've seen every single one opening weekend, starting with GoldenEye. I would love to just experience anything James Bond, like wipe all my James Bond memories away and start again. That was just like a common. I thought I had something else. I don't know. Goodfellas is not it. I'm hearing a lot of things I shouldn't have heard. Yeah. What's the Eagles movie about kicker? A movie about kicker? No. So the movie I would like to see is not a movie. It's actually a trilogy. I would like to go and see the entire trilogy for the first time again, and that would be The Lord of the Rings. And followed, obviously, with the other two, Twin Towers. Anyway, the Lord of the Rings trilogy to me would be the ultimate thing to get to watch for the first time. When I saw the first Lord of the Rings, I didn't even know I was going to see the first of a trilogy. I had no clue. No clue what I was going to see. But that would be the ultimate to me. Now, knowing what it was, going back and watching it for the first time. I would love to go back in time and see Wizard of Oz in theaters. The audience reaction when it switched to color would have been so wild. It would have been, actually. No, it's not Forrest Gump. I find Forrest Gump slightly overrated, honestly. It was one of Al Pacino's greatest performances. He really took Tony Montana. I overrate it. Overrated. Lord of the Rings, nerd alert. I'm not into that kind of stuff. But, yeah, it's crazy. Saving Private Ryan was unexpectedly intense the first time. It's weird. I went on I saw Saving Private Ryan probably wasn't the greatest choice. But I had a first date with a girl at Saving Private Ryan. And let's just say it didn't go to a second date after that. Because after the movie, I asked her what she thought of it, and she said she had no idea what it was about, but her last name was Ryan. So she wanted to go see the movie. And I'm like, oh, my God, are you that dumb? And she was that dumb. Oh, so we never went out again. Lord of the Rings is actually a shocking, easy watch. It's a phenomenal masterpiece. Phenomenal. Forrest Gump is my favorite. It's okay. Groundhog's Day is my second favorite movie. Every time you watch it, it's like the first time all over again, right? Because it's just, yeah. Anyway. All right, we're coming to the top of the hour, guys. Please, if you haven't already, hit that like button. Please, if you haven't already, share. Subscribe. We're obviously off on a way off tangent here. I used movies to get us off of the Delco Deucer conversation. But I want to get back to the Eagles a little bit more. And obviously, when Jihaad Campbell will be back, are we concerned that Jihaad Campbell's absence this offseason might be a problem for him being ready for week one? Are we concerned at all that if he's not available and that Kobe Dean isn't available, that's a problem? We're talking those things with the Eagles there. Do we think that a Drew Kendall or a Holland Pierce could beat out Tyler Steen at right guard? It's another thing from Rookie Minicamp. We've gained one subscriber today. We started 517. We're at 518. So if you haven't already, please hit subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. Al Pacino played a Cuban and a Puerto Rican and sucked that both. Yeah, like Al Pacino's the only guy that could play like 9 different ethnicities at the same time and do it all successfully. Lord of the Rings theatrical cut or extended? Well, I give me the extended cut now. I saw the theatrical cut in the theaters with, Anyway, but yeah, I didn't know what I was going to see. Didn't know what it was we were watching, but we went and watched it. I had concerns about Dean's shoulder when he was drafted. If Dean is not ready, Nooms, and neither is Jihaad Campbell, then we've got a problem at linebacker. Because that means we're looking at Jeremiah Trotter Jr. as a starter. One new subscriber got to be. I probably lost 3 subscribers today based off of this conversation. What do you think the Sixers offseason plans, or will they trade and beat or fire? They're not firing anybody, and they're not trading anybody. What their plan should be is to fire people and try to trade people. What will happen is they'll make a slight tweak and run it back, and it's going to be the same disaster next year. I don't think Campbell is really an issue. They will make sure he's ready for the regular season. But I'm concerned, like, we're a Super Bowl reigning champion, trying to repeat as champion, Duck. We have a defensive coordinator, Vic Fangio, that it takes time to learn the system up. Just say he's not ready for first day of training camp, July, whenever that is. Say he misses the first 2 or 3 weeks of training camp. Will he be ready week 1? Even if his shoulder gets cleared by, say, we'll say April 5th or August 5th. Say his shoulder gets cleared August 5th for contact. Will that be enough time for him to be ready to be a viable starter next to Zach Bond week 1? Mark Margos was a South Philly dude that could play any ethnicity. He's on down the road. He's on down the road. It's from not Wicked. It's the Wizard of Oz movie, The Wiz. I know what The Wiz is. I love The Wiz. I don't think I will watch much Sixers this year. I mean, it'll be on in the background. It'll be a distraction. But at this point, I can't get excited for the Sixers all season when this all season is going to be run by the same people that built the last couple teams. Yeah, 15 likes. Is that where we're at? That's better than I thought. The Delco Dumper equals kind of. No, I don't think it does. If they know Dean and Campbell are not ready, I think Howie will go get a free agent to fill the spot. That, Adam, is probably the most accurate thing that they would do. They probably would not turn it over to Trot Jr. yet. Now, I don't know. Campbell will be at training camp. Doesn't mean he can't watch tape and be ready, at least mentally. I got you on that. I know that. But I kind of feel like it could be a slow start for him. If he misses, there's difference between watching film and actually out there doing it with your teammates in the practice. Yes, The Wiz. I know The Wiz. Love The Wiz. Mark Margos equals Hector Salamanca. Oh, okay. Hector, I know who Hector Salamanca is. I don't know. Maybe somebody's impressed I actually pronounced that name that way. Nobody beat him, The Wiz. The Wiz. Come on, The Wiz is great. Fantastic. Arguably, The Wiz is better than actual Wizard of Oz. There's a lot of hype coming out about Smile Mondin from camp. Let me hold on. This is a quote from an Ed Kratz article that I read this weekend, recapping it, K1. Ed Kratz, Sports Illustrated, been on the show. Trying to get him on the next couple of weeks, actually. He's jacked, and he will be a special team ace from day one. They were the words to describe him. I took notes from the article on a bunch of different players. Kyle McCord carries himself like a NFL quarterback, but Smile Mondin, special teams ace from day one. There is it's one weekend, a mini camp. It's one thing, not much to it. You can't take too much from rookie minicamp. But if you're going to overreact, it is Overreaction Monday. If you're going to overreact to anything from camp, from rookie minicamp, it says that Smile Mondin might already be ahead of Jeremiah Trotter Jr. in the pecking order of linebackers. There's a real scenario where Trot Jr. is behind Mondin already. Trot Jr. may be better served as a coach. I think, is there anybody that feels that Trot Jr. was only drafted because of the name, and he probably won't be much of anything in the NFL, is going to have such a great year this year? Book it. I don't know how you say that because Dean and Campbell will be the starters or the main part of the rotation once they're cleared. And based off of camp, Mondin might be ahead of Trot Jr. already. Just going to say. Mondin equals Ike Reese. You can do so much worse than have a career like Ike Reese. So you know what? If that's who he turns into, a fill-in linebacker that's an amazing special teamer. Didn't Ike Reese make a Pro Bowl back when it mattered as a special teamer? Dude, Rick, if that's what we got in Smile Mondin, then that's a steal of a draft pick where we got him in the 5th round. I like the comparison. I think Ike Reese was a little bigger. I'm writing this down. Mondin equals Ike. I love that. I love that comparison right there. Junior will be fine. He will get additional snaps and get right in there. Maybe. I'm not sure. I don't hold any expectations for Jeremiah Trotter Jr. We are at the peak of our viewership this morning. Right now, there's 18 people watching on YouTube, so there should be 18 likes. Make sure you share. If you haven't already, subscribe. We're talking Eagles, rookie minicamp and the rookies. We're talking Phillies and their weekend series against the Diamondbacks. Whatever you're watching, wherever you're watching, make sure you drop your comments. Ike Reese was a great Eagle. He was. Absolutely. Marshawn's in the house. Good morning, Marshawn. You missed a hell of a doozy of a early conversation about the Delco Deucer or Dumpster and some movie conversations. Ike Reese is greater than Dwight D. Eisenhower. What? Anyway. But I'm sure Ike Reese's channel that he works for today will have some kind of a poll out there on A.J. Brown and Jalen Hurts. The WWWIP people. Dean is going to miss time, and Trot Jr. will fill in and play well. I also think Vic likes him very well. So there's two things here. One, yes, Dean might miss time, but if Campbell doesn't miss time, then that all goes right to Jihaad Campbell. Now, on the Fangio side of things, if it wasn't for Oren Burks playing so well, he was going to get playing time in the playoffs, Trot Jr. He didn't because Oren Burks just couldn't come off the field. But I don't know. I haven't seen anything from Trot yet. Won't be a starter here. He will be a rotational player, which will help him more than starting when he's not ready. Yeah, I think that's fair, Doc. My comp for Campbell is Willie T. Well, first off, William Thomas is like my favorite linebacker growing up. Loved William Thomas, Willie T. But I think the Eagles, maybe they're wrong for doing this, are hyping up Jihaad Campbell to be much better than William Thomas. Like, William Thomas was a really good Eagles player, but he wasn't a legendary player. They're trying to make Jihaad Campbell out to be a legendary potential player. So we'll see. Sixers getting 6 pick or better. That's coming up soon, isn't it? Is that this Thursday or next week? It's like the 8th or the 10th, I remember, right? The draft. When's the draft lottery? By the way, shout out to friend of the show who's been on here many a time, Sean Bernard, following through with his bet on the Sixers. He said he would recreate every one of Jarrett McCain's TikToks if the Sixers missed the playoffs. And he's already done 2 or 3 of them, and they're quite hilarious. Quite hilarious. So shout out to him. I hope so, Marshawn. The Sixers need to get their pick. Otherwise, it's going to be even a worse offseason. Trot Jr. will hang around the league for a long time, probably not the best ever linebacker, but also not ever a bad linebacker. Very serviceable player. I don't know how we can make a judgment on Trot. We haven't really seen enough to know, to be honest. I do not remember it exactly, but it was like 9 points or something. James Harden did disappear again. Big surprise, right, Marshawn? Big surprise. We started the show off with Noom's first comment. Wasn't about James Harden's stat line, but about Buddy Hield's stat line from last night. Ike Reese made a Pro Bowl in 2004 as a special. I thought so. I thought he made one. Thoughts on Abdul Carter asked for LT's number. Well, first off, we had a whole number conversation last week. I think jersey number retirements are stupid. Now, Lawrence Taylor's number, I mean, he is arguably 1 or 2 when you talk about the greatest defensive players of all time. So if you're going to retire numbers, Lawrence Taylor is a number that needs to be retired. But I think number retirements are stupid. Honor the greats by wearing their numbers. LT should be honored that Abdul Carter wants to wear his number. And we're not talking about Smile Mondin asking to wear his number. We're talking about Abdul Carter, the number 3 pick in the draft. This isn't Kyle McCord asking to wear Tom Brady's number. This is Abdul Carter asking to wear it. So Andy Reid started every practice focused on special teams. Ike Reese was a special teams ace. Special teams is hit or miss with the Eagles lately. But, yes, absolutely. I see this. I just keep looking back at this comment. And I just think it's silly. I really think number retirements are silly. There are so many numbers that Eagles aren't allowed to play. Where? Like I talked about it on Friday. Like Nick Foles' number should be allowed to be worn. I got yelled at for talking about Randall Cunningham. Don't retire Randall Cunningham's number. Why? Why would you? Now, LT is one thing, but a majority of the numbers aren't necessary. Campbell will definitely be a good player. He has a chance to be a great player. So maybe William Thomas is his starting point on where he could be. He could be better, but at his floor might be William Thomas. Maybe we rephrase it like that. Tobias disappeared too. He had some good moments in the playoffs. I really wanted the Knicks to win that game. They got screwed in that series. They did. Campbell will be Scheffler level. JT Jr. is another bazoo. Is that how we're comparing them? Like in golf terms there? Gotcha. I thought it was ridiculous. Numbers for the all-time greats are retired for a reason. I can get it, on an all-time great, but that's about it. Should the Eagles retire? No. It's on the list of not retired but not allowed to be worn. You got Nick Foles, Randall Cunningham, LaShawn McCoy's number, Kelsey Cox, and Brandon Graham's number are on that list. I'm missing one other. There were 7, I thought, on that list. I think it's a little overblown. There's literally like 47 numbers that you can't wear for the Eagles now. We're going to start having like 16B on people's jerseys. If you take Tobias Harris out after the third quarter, you could coach in the NBA. Yeah. The NBA is losing me. Steph Curry ruined the sport. Yeah, I tried this weekend to pick up a little bit NBA basketball playoffs. Really couldn't get too much into it. Campbell gives off Weapon X energy. If healthy, is going to be a fan favorite. I like that. Yeah, absolutely. I don't want to put him at Weapon X level yet, where he's going to be, where you're putting him in the Hall of Fame already before he steps on the field. But yeah, I get that. There aren't enough uni numbers to retire them willy-nilly. But they got these untouchable numbers. Eagles have not let anyone use 25 since Shady was traded. Exactly. I don't know why. To me, it's silly. Campbell has a chance to be Parsons level player. A lot of people are saying that. Will he be? We'll see. We'll see. Hopefully he's got a more grounded and down-to-earth ego and personality and than Micah Parsons. What happened to my chat there? Why won't these comments come off the board? There we go. Comments weren't moving for a second. Brian Westbrook stays getting disrespected. They gave his number to Jihaad. Give away Shady McCoy's number. I don't care. Let's make this rule. You get into the NFL Hall of Fame, then you get a retired number. Everyone else, that's fine. Get in the Hall of Fame. And that's it. I think I agree, but don't know why. How did Derek Curry ruin the NBA? His style of play ruined the NBA. Abdul Carter is one amongst SOB thinking he can have LT's number. LT is a boss. Carter's barely a made man. He's not a made man yet. But I get it. He wants to honor the great LT by wearing his number. Play like him, etc. I can understand LT's number being retired. I can understand Reggie White's number being retired. I can understand a few of them. Westy is the only Eagles uni I own. Should Kelsey number be retired? Probably. When he gets into the Hall of Fame, yeah. If you're going to say a Hall of Fame gets retired, that's fine. Kelsey will be in the Hall of Fame. Peters will be in the Hall of Fame. Lane Johnson will be in the Hall of Fame. Those numbers are going to get retired. But that's it. Okay, one that's totally up. What's up, Joe? How you doing this morning? Good morning, Phil. What is going on with Bohm? Does he need a phantom IL stint similar to Marsh? Maybe. I mean, he's starting to make some contact. He still has no home runs. It's very difficult to play him when you got Otto Kemp smashing 10 home runs in the minors right now, Joe. I don't know. I think Bohm, you missed the boat with him. You could have traded him this offseason or last deadline for Kyle Tucker. You chose not to, and now you're stuck with him. Now his value, Alec Bohm, is at an all-time low. What you got to do is you got to keep him in the 8-hole. Rob Thomson keeps bumping him up back to the 5 and 6 hole occasionally. Keep him in the 8-hole for a month and hope he works it out. Unfortunately, it's making it very difficult. But I mean, he does have his average close to like 230 now. But the guy just can't drive the ball anymore. I don't know. Maybe Alec Bohm is just an average baseball player. And his 3-month stretch of all-star play last year was just a fluke. Maybe it was just a string of good games over a couple months. And now we're seeing the end of last year and the beginning of this year what he really is. Just average. I can't blame Curry for ruining the NBA. I blame others for trying to make everyone else Curry instead of being themselves. It's a fair point, dude. Very fair point. Curry turned the NBA into a carbon copy of the Golden State Warriors. Everyone just shoots threes. There is. There's too much three-point shooting. Honestly, the three-point shooting excess in the NBA doesn't bother me as much as the flopping bothers me. And the fact that they talk about a ruling, like eliminating the flopping, but still let it go. That's what bothers me the most. Phillies need to have a Howie mentality. A year too soon is better than 2 years too late. Absolutely. Absolutely agree with you on that. Bohm needs to be on a different team. He is trash. I can't wait until his contract is up. Look, you're not going to trade him to another team now. There's nothing that will get you any value for Alec Bohm. And he's on the last year's deal. He's a free agent after this year. So you're losing him for nothing. You could have traded him and gotten Kyle Tucker here. But people didn't want to move on from him. Bohm will still be what the back of his baseball card is. He will get 20, 25 homers. He's not getting those numbers this year. He's not getting 90 RBIs. He's not getting 20 home runs this year. It's just not going to happen. Now, he'll get on a 20 home run pace maybe over a certain stretch of time. I think Alec Bohm leveled out. And he's a 250, 270 guy that's going to. I always said he wasn't a home run hitter. I always said he was more of a 15 to 20 home run hitter, big picture. Alec Bohm has been in his own head for way too long now. It wasn't just the end of last season. It's rolled into this season. Three-point shots are skill. Flopping shows a disrespect to the game. Exactly. Jason Tatum shoots too many threes, and so does Brunson. Brunson's the kind of player that ruins basketball for me. Jalen Brunson wouldn't have a career if they enforced it. Exactly. Yet, they enforce it. Well, they don't enforce it on Brunson, but then you had Tim Hardaway at the end of that one game literally do it and actually get fouled on that three-point shot, and they enforce it on that moment and then admit it they shouldn't have. And that's what's wrong with the game. Rick, I've said this before. I'll say this again, and I don't remember now because I've been saying this for a while, but I don't remember the year. When the next collective bargaining agreement is up between the NBA and the NBA players, there's going to be a massive lockout and strike, whatever. There's so much wrong in the NBA with the contracts, with the salary caps, with the way teams are built, the way the rules are in the league. There's going to be a major work stoppage in the NBA whenever the next CBA is up. And I think it's like 2030, 2029, something like that. We're like 4 years away, I think, from a major stoppage in work for the NBA. Turn on ESPN and every NBA highlight is someone shooting a three. Yeah, it's true. It is. That's how the game's evolved. And I can get behind that. I'm okay with the threes. It's not ideal. It's not old school 80s, early 90s basketball. Not how I learned to play the game. I learned to play defense and rebound and then shoot. But the problem is the other parts of it, the flopping. Like, they don't even try to take three-point shots anymore. They try to lean into people on three-point shots. They care more about the flopping on a three-point shot than the actual shot, and that's the problem. Bohm doesn't have a power hitter's mentality. He likes to inside out the ball. I don't know what Alec Bohm is anymore. I don't. This is not a 3-week sample size of him struggling. Alec Bohm has been struggling since August of 2024. It's a long, long stretch of Alec Bohm struggles now. So it's time we accept who he is, which maybe is not a power. Maybe he's just an 8-hole hitter. Maybe a 7-hole hitter. Don't want to offend anybody. Maybe that's just what he is. And maybe that's okay that that's what he is. Maybe it doesn't matter that that's what he is. But Alec Bohm, you kind of just got to write it out because you can't trade him at this point. Alec Bohm is what the back of his baseball card says he is. Well, let's look at that. All right? Let's look at the back of that baseball card, Rick. I can't. I'm going to look up his stats. I got ESPN's page up here. 2021, first full year, hit 247 with 7 home runs in 150 games. In 2022, 13 home runs in 152 games, 72 RBIs, 280 batting average, 713 OPS. 2023 hit 20 home runs. The only time he's done that in 145 games, hit 274. He's a 270 hitter. He's a 15 home run hitter. And he's about an 80 RBI guy. He's had 297 years and a 72. He's literally got 10 RBIs in 32 games. So the back of his baseball card right now says that he's not playing very well. He's never had an 800 OPS. He is what he is. He's a singles hitter. He's not even really that much. Well, he had 44 doubles last year in 143 games, so maybe he is a doubles hitter. But Alec Boehm's baseball card does not say he's a 20 to 25 home run hitter. It says he's a 275 guy max that when having a good season can get to 15 home runs. I think he's better than a bum. He is struggling like a bum. But I think it's a little overreaction Monday-esque saying he's a bum. He's playing like a bum, but I don't know if he is a bum. Probably sounding like an old man. I would love to see a season without three-pointers. Take it away and watch the game get better, more physical. Yeah. If the NBA goes back to 90s rules with illegal defense, it will be way more entertaining. Yeah. The 3 career war. I mean, it is. I mean, I'm looking at his whole entire, his whole card here. You know, it's like, yeah. Struggles, postseason batting. Actually, no. Just struggled last year in the postseason. But this 20 to 25 home run hitter thing, he hit 20 once, and that's it. And that's it. Somebody said he doesn't walk enough. Yeah, last year he had 40, 42 walks. Yeah, I mean, he is what he is. Alec Boehm. And it's not, I'm not trying to disparage Alec Boehm. Yes, he is struggling massively right now. I don't think he's a bum. I think he is what he is. And the question was, what can you do with Alec Boehm? The problem is there's nothing you could do other than hope he figures it out. Hopefully the only thing you could do with Alec Boehm is hope he does what Rick says and figures it out. That's all you can hope for. And when he figures it out, you move on from him right away. Everyone tried to compare him to Jason Worth, but he is nowhere near that. That's true. I think I may have even made a Jason Worth comparison at one point, Adam. I would be shocked if I didn't make that comparison myself. But he's not. Boehm has had like 3 good months in his career. No, I mean, he also was in his rookie year, which was the shortened 2020 COVID season. I mean, he hit over 300. He was second or third in Rookie of the Year voting that year. He's had more than 3 good months. He's had more than a Dom Brown 3-month stretch. But he's only had a 3-month stretch of greatness. He's not a perennial all-star, so to speak. He's a solid player. When he's clicking. He's just not been clicking for like 3 months of baseball. And that's a problem. You can't demote him. You can't trade him. You can't bench him. Like, you're kind of just stuck with Alec Boehm as is. Now, the manager of the team could do him right by leaving him in the 8-hole for at least a month straight instead of bouncing him up and down the lineup every game. But they don't do that. The home run derby match, it might have been. I mean, it wouldn't be the first baseball player that got ruined by being in a home run derby unnecessarily. It happens far too often with the home run derby. It does. So maybe, Adam, maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. All right, we're coming up to the final 5 minutes. What's on tap this week? Well, we got Martin Frank coming on Wednesday. Delaware News Journal, Eagles beat reporter, and actually a Phillies fan too, doing some Phillies writing too. So we'll talk to him about Phillies and Eagles when he comes on Wednesday. Who watched the Kentucky Derby? Not me. I kind of forgot about it, honestly. Boehm lower in the lineup might be lucky to drive in 60 this year. Don't care. I just want to see him get right. What's on deck? Martin Frank. I'm working on a few other guests right now that I'm trying to have on the show. some different ones, some media-related ones, some first-timers. We're going to get some first-time club members on here, in the next week or two. But we got Martin Frank coming on Wednesday. That's a lot. So look forward to that, guys. We will continue the Phillies. We'll continue. What we expect out of the 6-game road trip from the Phillies going to Tampa and then Cleveland. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll continue talking Eagles tomorrow. I've got some ideas to talk about with the Eagles. I got some other things to bring up with the Eagles that we haven't gotten to yet today. So we've got lots to cover this week. Lowering the lineup means better on base percentage. That's what I want. Yeah, I just want to see him get comfortable. Less pressure in lowering the lineup. And what else has happened is Bryson Stott needs to stay in the lineup every day, no matter who's pitching. Bum lost me when he grew his long hippie hair. Power hitters have short hair. He got too distracted by Aaron Dolan or whatever. You guys see Kay Adams and Cooper DeJean this past week? Or this weekend? Looks like Kay Adams might have a thing for Coop. Let's get Hurts on and ask him about the haters. Dude, I wish. If you got Jalen Hurts' number, Adam, you send it to me. And I'll get him on. That would be something. That would be something right there. Jalen Hurts on here. Well, that would be, that's not even a pipe dream. That's just like an out and left field dream. No chance in the world. Chooch was the best 8-hole hitter the Phillies ever had. Putting somebody in the 8-hole. There's nothing wrong with being in the 8-hole. Every team has an 8-hole hitter. Being the best 8-hole hitter versus being the worst 6-hole hitter. Big difference. I'd rather be the best 8-hole hitter. No need to have that pressure on Alec Bohm to drive and run. At this point, he can't do it, so why put him in that spot? So they will bench him soon. Just wait. The team has so many issues. They can't afford to get zero production from third base. He's got 10 RBIs this season. He's played in 32 of the 34 games, I believe. It's not good. Sosa's not an everyday player either, though. And Otto Kemp, you risk bringing him up here to play every other day and ruin any trade value he has? I don't know. Obviously, the Phillies aren't concerned because if they wanted to bring Otto Kemp up here for any position, he's still playing third base every day, basically down in the minors, down at AAA. They're only doing that to increase his trade value or because they're moving on from Bohm at some point. Otherwise, they'd have him in left field every day. Casty's struggling. You don't hear anyone talking about him. Casty's just a guy that goes in stretches. Lights out for 3 weeks. Lights on for 3 weeks. Lights out for 3 weeks. Lights on for 3 weeks. That's what he is. You start every at-bat 0-1 because he's going to get a sweeper away out of the zone every single at-bat. It would be one thing if Bohm was Brooks Robinson with the glove. He is not. He is not. He did make a nice play at the end of the game yesterday that I liked. Anyway, we'll pick this up with Alec Bohm tomorrow. Maybe I'll even put Alec Bohm's on the thumbnail as part of the conversation for tomorrow. So we will talk more Alec Bohm tomorrow. Maybe I'll have an answer by tomorrow on what you do with Alec Bohm and third base for the Philadelphia Phillies. Maybe I'll figure it out by tomorrow. Maybe. Doubtful. But we can continue to discuss it tomorrow. Along with anything else that comes up. Maybe we'll have more Delco Deucer comments tomorrow. You never know. But with that being said, guys, I got to get in. I got to get set. So everybody have a great Monday. Enjoy Cinco de Mayo responsibly. Do not drink and drive. If you have one too many margaritas or Coronas, get an Uber. No excuses. Thank you very much, Adam. Muchas gracias. Greatly appreciate you and everybody today. But with that being said, guys, have a great Monday. Have a great Cinco de Mayo. Go Birds. Bubbles up.